All right, no time to explain, gang. Welcome back. King Zeph here, back with another video for you guys. Happy Tuesday. Figure we change things up a little bit while we still wait on some things to kind of show up in the mail and new releases to kind of drop out. So we're not doing an unpack today. We're actually going to do a Master Duel video today. I have a lot of random Master Duel clips that I've been actually trying to get rid of and make sure I had them saved. And as opposed to just posting them on the channel like I usually have been, I figured I'd do some walkthroughs and explain how some of the games go because it's kind of weird to watch a lot of the Master Duel content because it's just like you're just playing and seeing things. So I figured that I would replay the duels that I have saved as well as kind of walk through things and show how things work in the game. So it'd be a little fun little tutorial for those that are interested in learning new combos or understanding how certain decks work, that type of thing. So if you want to see more content like this in the future, give us a subscribe and leave a like as well as something in the comments. As I post more content like this available soon. Lord Kana stuff will be coming up very, very soon as well. Because I'll have to be doing some deck building and testing for when competitive becomes available and all that other fun stuff and when the new set drops. So we'll see how that thing kind of goes. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and crack into this. So let's move on to the Master Duel screen. All right, so this is the deck profile I was using for my replays. I was playing Casteras. Unfortunately, they kind of they really didn't butcher my deck too bad. They did limit Fenrir down to 1, unfortunately. So instead of being a 2, he's down to 1. And then, of course, I think they also limited Birth from 2 to 1 as well. So they had a couple hits of the deck, and then they also had a couple things in the Runnicks. I do play Runnick Kash, essentially a pretty standard package. 2 Maxis, 2 Ghost Bells and Winter Cherries. A very great hand trap, especially in a mirror match, especially for Castera and a bunch of other decks because a lot of archetypes are a little evil in here. 2 Ash Blossoms, 1 Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, and then followed by all the necessary Castera cards. Some board wipes, board breakers, Pot of Prosperity, which is the most important card in the deck for drawing. More Castera support, the Runnick Fountain, which is unlimited to 1, and then the entire Runnick package along with a couple traps as well. So in terms of extra deck, the extra deck is a little weird because stereotypically you'd probably have a more diverse extra deck, but this extra deck is really designed to be very anti-meta. So I have the 3 Runnick monsters that we definitely need. Hugin, I probably should put another copy in here instead of leaving it at 1, but 9 times out of 10 I really don't use it because since Fountain's only at 1, 9 times out of 10 I can kind of get things going with the Castera engine and everything else inside. Tearlament, which is Kid Kalos, she's only in here for the pure fact of Ghost Bell and Winter Cherries, because if you guys don't know what Winter Cherries does, very similar to Ash, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, quick effect, you can discard this card. You reveal a card from your extra deck, then you look at your opponent's extra deck. And if they have this the same card in there, you banish their copy. So that's really why it's there. So whenever you play in a Tearlament matchup, if you have this in your hand right before as they start playing their Tearlament monsters, you call Kid Kalos. Kid Kalos gets banned, and that basically butchers a lot of the Tearlament strategy because they require Kid Kalos to really get a lot of things moving. But you can use it for anything. So a lot of times you can either use it to call Baron to floor, which of course Baron is easy to summon in Castera. All the Castera monsters are 7-star monsters, and then all of the Ghost Sisters are your tuners. So you special summon a Castera monster, play either one of the Ghost Sisters, and that's your 10-star synchro for Baron to floor. Big Eye, which is very, very important since all your Casteras are 7-star monsters. All you need is 2 of those, and then it allows you to snatch a monster. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, just to cause some damage when your opponent likes to do a lot of effects. 2 Shangri-Era, 3 is a little excessive. Expurely Noir is in here because, of course, Purely is the bane of my existence. I hate Purely. Me and Purely don't get along. So if I do get lucky, and it hasn't happened all the time, but if I play against a Purely player and can pull Ghost Reaper, then I call Noir, GG's, call it a day, because once you basically banish Noir, there's nothing left for Purely to really do. 3 Arise Hearts, I usually pitch 1 or 2 of them away, usually 1 with Prosperities. Don't need 3, but having more than 1 is very beneficial. The 1 Zeus, as well as Infinitrack Golem. This is really pure, this card is just here for Prosperities. I pitch it with Prosperities, and then when I play a Rise Heart to snatch a card from the grab it as attachment, I'll grab this, which will then basically allow stop this monster from being able to be destroyed by card effects. So that's basically stops a Rise Heart from being nuked by a Dark Hole or a Regeki or anything that would target and destroy it. They would have to essentially negate its effect or get me to pitch the material, but if you pitch the material, 9 times out of 10 you can grab it back. So that's just a way to keep a Rise Heart on the board, keeping him alive a little bit longer. So that's why he's there. But this is the deck I'm going to be playing, and then let's go to the games. All right, on to game 1 here. I don't even remember what order or which decks these are playing, so we're going to kind of go through them as they start playing them out. So let's go. Of course, there's my neutral field. So as you guys can see, opponent goes first. This deck is really designed a lot to go second a lot of times, but as you see on my opening hand, 2 Ghost Reapers and Cherry Mansion, 1 of each of the Kashtira monsters, and then Theosis. So I'm pretty much set for anything I need to play. The only thing I would kind of be screwed out of is if I had a Maxi or an Ash Blossom. That's kind of irrelevant because if they Ash a Kashtira monster, generally you play Unicorn, uses effect. If they Ash it, then Unicorn's effect will trigger and move off of that. So what is my opponent playing? This one is... Oh, this is where they're playing. Looks like a Dark Magician package. So they played Dark Magical Circle into Soul Servant, essentially top deck a Dark Magician card, and then play Circle. Kind of don't know why they chose to. I don't know why they chose to pitch Rod. It's kind of odd because they didn't get to draw. Like a Dark Magical Circle allows you to pull a spell or trap that mentions Dark Magician or a Dark Magician itself. So I don't know why they picked Magician's Rod as the first card, but I digress. They had Timaeus in their hand, so of course they're going to clearly pitch the Dark Magical Circle to special summon Timaeus. And at this point is when I decided to use the Ghost Reaper and Cherry Mansion, and Winter Cherries. Usually if I was playing Dark Magicians, I knew exactly what to call, but since I really kind of don't know, I just took a safety route and picked Barone to floor, because Barone is pretty much played everywhere, and as you see, it got banished because they had Barone in their extra deck. Summons Ash, so that would have been the tuner. Go into a Planet Verde Anaconda. So at this point, I thought they were playing the Elemental Hero DPE package, like 9 times out of 10 whenever somebody plays Verde Anaconda, pay 2,000 life points, and then you can send 1 fusion or polymerization spell from the deck, and it becomes that effect. And they decided to pick Branded Fusion. So actually, they're playing Branded Dark Magicians, which would have been probably nicer if Dragoon was in the game, because if Dragoon was in the game, it would be very dangerous to play that. So they're playing Branded, of course, to get that out there. So that resolves. Pitch the Fallen of Albaz. Go straight into Mirror Jade. And that's how they end their turn. So now my turn. I draw for turn. Draw Runic Fountain, which is really good, but I don't have any Runic cards, so it really doesn't make any sense to play this. And really the goal right here is to out the Mirror Jade. Of course, I can easily out it with Fenrir, but Mirror Jade does have the quick effect that allows it to banish a card. And Kashtiras, that's not really that big of a deal because Kashtiras don't care if they're banished or not, because Birth will bring it back as well as a bunch of other Kashtira monsters. So banishing a Kashtira card really means absolutely nothing unless you banish it face down, in which case the only way you're going to get it back is if you Arise Hearted to get it unface down at that point in time. But opening hand, of course, Runic Fountain, Theosis, Unicorn, and Fenrir. So of course, to bait it out, play the Unicorn. He instantly uses his effect to go ahead and pitch out the Albion, the Branded Dragon, to banish my Unicorn, which unfortunately, because he got rid of my monster, allowed me to special summon Fenrir again, because all the Kashtira monsters, if you control no monster, you can special summon it from the hand. I special summon Unicorn. He uses one-time effect. Now I go right into Fenrir. So now in the second he either uses another effect or I proceed to battle, Mirror Jade is banished face down. Play Theosis to play another one, and he scoops. Nothing in his hand, no other plays. He's pretty much done for. He's going to take 2,400 points of damage. Either that or be staring down the tail end of an Arise Heart. So that's the end of that game. Let's move on to the next game. Okay, game 2. Moving on. So the first game was pretty much a one turn in. He just instantly scooped after pretty much his Mirror Jade was going to be gone. Same field center on this one. Light deck. And then opening hand, not too bad. 2 Runic spells, Fenrir, Haunted Mansion, as well as Pressure Planet Ravesaw, which is the Kashtira field spell. So allows me to get a Kashtira card to stop me from having to just play Fenrir off the jump. So not a terrible opening hand, not as best as I would like it. A Maxi or an Ash Blossom would have been really nice, so that way if you special summon, I could draw more cards. But let's see what he's playing. I go second again. Bestial package. He goes for the Bestial Rebellion, goes straight for the Magnamut. And then, of course, he tries to summon the Magnamut, and this is where Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion comes in to negate the summoning of the Magnamut. Go ahead and pitch that. So now Magnamut can't be resummoned this turn. And then he goes for the Chaos Witch. So he's playing Bestials with the Chaos Engine. So at that point in time, that red flags to me. He's probably definitely playing Chaos Witch because the Chaos deck basically pulls out Chaos Archfiend as well as Chaos Angel relatively easily. He summons a Chaos Witch, triggers it to get the 2 tokens, and then a face down card. So he's basically setting himself up for a future play to get Chaos Angel or that. Go straight for the Max C, so now I can't special summon anything, but that's fine. Play the Wraithsar. Look for the Unicorn, because Unicorn is more important in this situation, because Unicorn allows me to strip cards out of his extra deck. So I went for that first. Go special summon that. He draws a card, uses effect to pull Birth. Play Birth, so now the advantage of Birth, now I can summon Fenrir as a normal summon, stopping his Max C. And then, of course, if he plays a spell, it allows me to banish cards from his graveyard, 3 of them face down, which will allow me to get rid of this Libellion or any other bestial monsters or bestial targets that he may have, since my deck really doesn't have that many light or darks for bestials to go after. So, normal summon the Fenrir, search for Rise Heart, proceed to battle, start shooting out the tokens, and goes for, of course, I target the Chaos Angel. Now, what you can't see here, unfortunately, when I was playing this, he actually had 2 Chaos Angels in his deck. He had a backup for it. So after I realized he had Chaos Angel, or really 2 of them in there, that was the very first target I went after, because Chaos Angel is not a huge problem, but it's a problem to deal with depending on what deck you're playing. Essentially, you need it's a 10-star monster. It's a synchro summon. It's best to summon with both a light and a dark monster. Its effect states that if you summon it using a light monster, synchro monster you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent, which means Fenrir can't take it out. And if you use dark monsters, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, which is another big problem because this is a 3,500 point beater. So that means you have to use an effect. You would have to use a board wiper to get rid of this card. So ideally with this, especially the way this deck is played, you use a light and a dark monster to synchro summon this, so that way both effects would apply, and then you can just go ahead and go to town and just start stomping out your opponent. So get rid of the first one, banish it face down, that thing's not coming back. But now I'm also setting himself up. So now I play my 3, of course, Runnick cards face down. There's no point in me keeping them in my hand since I don't have Runnick Fountain, so I need to set them. And now he ends with the Bestial Magnamut, since he can actually play it again now. Pitches the Libellion, goes to the Magnamut, but also, since he did use a monster effect, Fenrir can activate his effect. I'm going to instantly banish Magnamut. He's going to chain his effect so he can pull the next dragon card, which is fine by me, but it's also my turn, so that means when it is his turn, if he uses another monster effect, I get another banish. Goes for the Drew's Worm. Draws return, second turn plays. Goes straight for the Soronir. Big mistake, because of course he did 2 things wrong. He activated an effect when I had both my Castira cards out on the field, and now he's also triggering Chaos Witch again. So now at this point, Fenrir activates, Unicorn activates. Unicorn, I target the second Chaos Angel, so that way Chaos Angel is no longer a threat, and then Fenrir will pitch out the Bestial, and he goes to summon 2 more tokens. So now he's gonna Libellion again, go for the Baldrake. Now he goes for the Drew's Worm. So he summons the Drew's Worm, synchros right into, Chaos Archfiend. Now Drew's Worm effect will activate. He's going to go ahead and target the Unicorn. This was my misplay. I clearly forgot the effect of Drew's Worm, which isn't that big of a deal. So Drew's Worm, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. I had Runnick Slumber face down, so of course the monster you target was my Unicorn. I went to protect it, failing to realize that this doesn't destroy, it sends. Slumber basically target 1 face a monster on the field. The next time the monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. Also, you cannot attack this turn, and then you banish the top 3 cards in your opponent's deck. So I do get the banish, but the mistake I made was I misinterpreted this instead of send, instead of destroy. So this was a minor misplay for me, but that's really not that big of a deal, because I already have Castira Birth on the board. Unicorn is coming back the very next turn, so it's really not that big of a deal. But first misplay. And then, of course, immediately go for the Chaos Archfiend, because Chaos Archfiend is stronger than every monster I have on the board. And this, if any card has been banished this turn, this card gains 2,000 attack points, and it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. If this card in its owner possession leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Chaos Synchro monster from your extra deck, except Chaos Archfiend. So this will allow you to pretty much instantly drop out Chaos Angel instantly, but we're just going to go ahead and use Flashing Fire, instantly destroy it, so he can't attack through with Unicorn or anything on that side. Downside is I lose my battle phase for the next turn, but I also get to banish more cards out of his deck, and then he gets rid of the Unicorn. Now he summons the Baldrake, pitches the Archfiend, goes for another one, What does he summon this time? I forget. He summons the Psyflame Omega. Not a big deal. So, of course, he is stronger than Fenrir. He'll destroy the Fenrir. And then he'll pass turn. So now it's my turn. I get to draw. I draw Ogre. He instantly goes to target to return Lebellion back to his to the graveyard. So that way he can potentially resummon it back out. All he needs is a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon. And then he can re-pull Lebellion out. So Lebellion is going to be my target going forward. Special summon Kashtira Ogre, so now I can walk right over Psyframe, but he uses Psyframe's effect to basically banish my Arise Heart. Not a big deal, at least for the next turn, but he uses his effect, which allows me to look at the top 5 cards, pick one and banish it face down. So I choose, if my mind serves me correctly, I think I chose the Chaos Core. It won't let me see which one I picked, but I believe I chose Chaos Core to make sure that he have no Chaos Engine monsters to summon another Chaos Synchro monster. Pull the Trap, which is Preparations, which allows me to basically special summon a Kashtira monster that's been removed from play. Birth, summon Unicorn, pull Theosis. Go ahead into Shangri-Era. And then right into Kashtira Theosis, right into Scareclaw Kashtira. And then, of course, my battle phase was skipped because of the effect of the Runnick spells I played the previous turn, so I don't get to attack. But I basically have just set myself up for ultimate success because now Shangri-Era will activate. Wraithsaw can pop a card every single once per turn whenever Shangri-Era's effect activates. I have Preparations, which will allow me to special summon any Kashtira monster from my hand or that's been removed from play. Birth, anytime a spell card is activated, I get to banish 3 cards from my opponent's deck. And then I have another Flashing Fire, so in case he summons something big that I can't deal with, I can destroy it again. So, draws for turn. No cards in my hand, 2 cards in his hand. His Psyframe returns. Activate Preparations. Use the effect. He goes ahead and pops Ash Blossom. I have no Kashtira monster in my field that would trigger an effect, which is not that big of a deal. But Shangri-Era's effect does activate. Wraithsaw pops. Target the back card, which was a Super Polymerization. Got rid of that quickly. Going for another Chaos Angel package. Go straight into that. And then go ahead and pop the Psyframe. Can't do anything with the 2 tokens. And he scoops. Duck. Forgot his name was Duck. Duck surrenders. So let's move on to game number 3. All right, we're on to game number 3. I didn't see how many turns this was. I can't remember exactly, but we'll see what happens. So this hand, unfortunately, not the best, not the worst. So I have, of course, 3 hand traps. I have an Ash Blossom, so that way if he tries to get too crazy with his draws, I can instantly block that out. Reapers in case he gets too zesty. Unicorn to start off my engine, of course, which is my 1-card starter. A Freezing Curses to negate an effect and an evenly match. So in case he decides to just load his board up with things, I can evenly match him and put it back to 1 card on the field. So not a bad opening hand. And then I can see clearly from right there, it's a mirror. So he instantly plays Pressure Planet Wraithsaur. So it means he has playing Kashtiras in his deck. So the second he does that, I immediately go for the Ash so he can't draw a Kashtira monster. So negate that effect going forward. Then he plays Tier Limit Grief. So now at this point in time, he's actually playing Tier Limits with Kashtiras. It goes ahead and activates Grief. Now because he activated Grief, I could not use Winter Cherries. So Grief, basically you special summon 1, Visa Star Force, a Tier Limits monster from the deck or graveyard, then you send 1 monster you control the graveyard. So essentially he special summoned Havness, immediately send it out so Havness effect can trigger. So I could not use Reaper to take away his Tier Limit monster. So unfortunately, it's going to resolve. He's going to fusion summon right into Kit Kalos. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately, using the Sheeran in hand. And then there goes Kit Kalos. Goes for the Kit Kalos. Now I decide to Reaper. Since Kit Kalos on the board, I just chose another safe option, Barone. Because Barone is always another go-to for that one, so we'll go ahead and get rid of Barone. He pitches the Tier Limit Kashtira. Pitches more cards from the grave, and then go ahead and uses the effects. Resummons Tier Limit Kashtira. Banishes the top, pitches the top 3 out of my grave, which is not really the wisest decision, and then his top 5. Fortunately for me, he had 0 hits, so he couldn't fuse anything out of there, unfortunately. No Tier Limit monsters that he pitched, so that way he couldn't go into the fusion with Kid Kalos. And possibly use Tier Limit Kashtira to probably go into Root Kalos, or into, Tier Limit Arise Heart. So that was to my benefit of that situation. I've already used Reaper and I've already used my Ash, so I'm pretty much screwed at that point in time. But the end board for him, Pressure Planet, followed by Tier Limit Kashtira and 1 face down. So really nothing too detrimental or bad. So draw right into Destruction. Go ahead and play Unicorn. Pull out Birth, because Birth is the most valuable card to me in this situation. Now he goes for the Maxi, but of course he played Maxi too late because Unicorn's on the field. So now I get to strip a card from his extra deck. Instantly go for the Guardian Chimera. And now I use the effect, of course, because he did use a... I went to go ahead and re-special summon the Fenrir that he had popped out of there. So now he actually used Mudora's effect to shuffle it back into the deck, along with his triple tactic talents. So now it goes back in the deck, so now I have no target to pull. Play the cards face down. Since I don't want to walk over this, I decided not to bother attacking. It's better. Unicorn is best kept on the field, because if he activates another monster effect, I get to strip another card out of his extra deck. So any tier limit card he plays when it has to activate his effect, I instantly get to wipe something off the board, but then also have backup because I have Destruction and Freezing Curses on the field, and I'm keeping my evenly match in my hand. So he goes for the Foolish Burial Goods, pitches the tier limit. Now he goes for that, but of course I go ahead and chain Birth because he played a spell card when I have a tier limit monster on the field. So now my 3 targets I chose were Kid Kalos, Grief, and King of the Swamp, because I don't want him to pitch anything to use King of the Swamp as fusion material, and I don't want Kid Kalos to get shuffled back into the extra deck. So I chain that instantly. He chains Keldo to go ahead and shuffle those chosen targets back, so that way he gets Grief back and he gets Kid Kalos back. Not the biggest deal in the world, unfortunately, but I do get rid of King of the Swamp, so that way if he pitches anything else, he has no fusion material. Goes for the Metatos, but now I activate the effect. Now he goes for the Sullick. So if he controls a tier limit monster, or if he's a Starfrost, he can target an effect monster and negate its effects, and then send one monster he controls to the graveyard, so that we can trigger another tier limit effect. Fortunately, this is when I go ahead and use Destruction. Since that is a continuous spell, I get to pop it. He has to banish the top 4 cards of his deck, so that way the effect doesn't even activate. Got rid of Haveness, stop that from happening, and then immediately get rid of the Kid Kalos. So now Kid Kalos is gone once and for all. Don't even have to worry about it. Goes for the Rhino Heart. So now, of course, he played normal summons a Rhino Heart. He's going to go ahead for this, so that way if this card, what is this? If this card normal summon a special summon, you can send 1 tier limit monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Rhino Heart. So now he's attempting to go for a 3rd fusion to either go into the Arise Heart or into the Rue Kalos. So he summons that, activates the effect, and thus now I chain the Freezing Curses to negate the effect of the Rhino Heart, and then banish the next top 3 of his deck. There goes Permanent Planet and Nibiru. His effect doesn't resolve. Now it's my turn, since he's still not going to crash over that. Draw into another Freezing Curses. I get no battle phase, but now I go into the Castira Theosis, and then he scoops, because at that point in time, more Castira monsters are going to hit the board, and he's either going to summon Fenrir, go into the combo straight into a Rise Heart, and that instantly kills the deck, because a Rise Heart, unfortunately, will banish everything, stopping tier limits from even working. So he surrenders for that one. That's another game for that one. Let's move on to the very next game. All right, game 4. This was another 4-turner. What deck was this person using? Let's see. Ooh, a very, very awful opening hand for me. Pressure Planet and Regular Star should be basically my way to get the deck rolling. Castira Theosis, which is useless to me without a Castira monster. I do have Maxi, so Maxi does potentially help me if it doesn't get ashed. That's my only salvation. So he's playing Exo Sisters. Immediately go into Maxi. He had no ash, so now I'm starting to draw my cards. Start to pull my Runnick card, so now I'm saved. Goes right into Baguska. And then, of course, he stops the special summoning because Baguska is a good stall card. So essentially, every once per turn during your standby phase, you have to just attach material. If you don't, or if you can't, you destroy it. When this card is in attack position, it can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. But while it is in defense position, all monsters are forced into defense position and they cannot activate their effects. So it kind of sets me up for here. But that does not stop me here because I draw on my Cosmic Cyclone, go straight into the Rave Saw. He goes for the Maxi. I decide to ash the Maxis to stop him from summoning because I don't know how many I'm going to special summon, so I go ahead and ash that immediately. That go ahead and resolves. And then, of course, the card I choose is Unicorn. Summon the Unicorn. That gets put face down defense position, right into the Castira Theosis because I can't use his effect since he got put in defense position because of Baguska, but since I have Theosis in my hand, go ahead and use it. Special summon. Kash, Scareclaw, Castira. This card Great card because you put it in defense position. Its effect allows it to attack in defense position and uses defense as attack. So now I can instantly walk right over Baguska, which is exactly what I do. Meaning my activated effects can now resolve again. Go ahead and pull out Birth. Play Birth. Go right into Shangri-Era since I already have Wraithsaw out here on the field. So now I get a pop every time that activates. Go ahead and lay down Cosmic Cyclone face down in case he gets zesty with a spell or a trap. And see what he does next. Goes for the Maxi again. Not that big of a deal. You're going to draw one card because I'm going to special summon. And I think I go for the second unicorn I have. So now he's actually playing Super Heavy Samurai. So this is where, of course, he goes for the next mistake. Goes straight for the Scare Claw. Uses his effect. Pitches the edge to resummon his scales. I get rid of Underworld Goddess. Block a zone. And then pop the card. Plays the next Exorcister. Passes turn to me. And then scoops. Because there's nothing he can do. The next turn, I would have been able to summon another card. Walk right over his board. And that would have been GG's at that point. So, not a quick game. Nothing too crazy. Was able to stop him from doing whatever he wanted to do in that situation. And move on. So, let's go on to the next game. Moving on to the very next game here. I believe this is the game which I had actually a very masterful play here. I don't remember exactly, but we'll see when it happens. Oh no, this is the Rika game. Okay. So for anybody that's unaware of Rika's, with my opening hand, I basically have every Runnick card I could possibly want. I have Runnick, Tip, and Slumber. So Tip will allow me to get Fountain instantly, so I don't need to worry about summoning Hugin, Kestira Birth, and Theosis. And then of course a Maxi. So if anybody has played Rika's, the standard Rika strategy is based around nothing but special summoning. So the second he played Rika Princess, I went straight for the Max C. The only thing that would have stopped me if he would have had an Ash or a Call by the Grave, which he had neither. So now he's just going to go ahead and cook with his engine and immediately start special summoning. So now I'm going to be able to draw some more cards. He pulls the Rika Princess and whatever that other card was, the Rika Fairy. Special summons the Rika Fairy, draw. Special summons Rika Princess, draw again. I have my third Runnick card. And then he's going to go into the next C's. Rika Cream. Draw again. Drew another Runnick Tip. Pitches the Princess. Gets the Glamour. And then plays Facile. And then plays one card face down. So now this hand already looks better as it is. Pull that. And now, oh, the card you played face down was Robbery of the Warlord. So you can only control one type of monster. And you send all other face-up monsters. Face-up monsters that have a different type to the graveyard. So here's our Floodgate. Not really that big of a deal because all the Kestira cards, for the exception of I think one or two of them, are all psychic monsters or a warrior. So I'm really not worried about it, but also I don't have any monsters in my hand to begin with. So my board state is quite open, and then I have a lot of things to kind of get things out the way. So opening, go for the Runnick Tip, pull the Fountain, banish the Princess, play the Fountain, and now I'm just going to proceed to just play as many Runnick cards as I please, banishing cards from the top of his deck. Don't care which ones they are. Summon Hugin. And then go for the draw 3. That resolves. And now I draw my Kestira monsters, play Birth, and then play Rise Star face down in defense mode because I can't play it face up since it's a warrior monster, and this is a fairy. So if I played one of these would have to go away. But the fairy being out here first, the warrior would get removed. So the game doesn't even allow you to play it in face-up attack mode. So I put it in defense. With 2100 defense, it's actually best to put it in defense mode. And then, of course, I played the other Runnick Tip face down. Didn't need to because Fountain allows me to play it from my hand, but that's neither here nor there. Go to gain 1,000 life points from the Moonin. It gets negated. Not that big of a deal. And then he goes for the Queen, followed by the Flurries to go ahead and special summon another monster. His board state is clean, so he can summon whatever monster he wants. He pitches my face down monster to go ahead and summon the Sacred Tree Beast. All right, he moves straight to battle. Go ahead and play Tip, pull Destruction, banish the Solemn Judgment, and then play Destruction to get rid of the Flurry so he can't use that trick again. Go for the draw 2. He still has no Ash Blossom because he pitched it out. And then I have an evenly matched and another Max C and an Ash, but I also have Chilling Kestira. Destroys my my Munin. Now he goes for the D barrier. Now I don't know why he picked fusions. You know what? I actually understand it now that I'm he picked fusions because he was expecting me to play another Runnick card. That's exactly why he picked fusions, but he actually should have picked XCs, because since now I have Chilliman Castira, I can go ahead and start cooking. So I'll go for the Chilliman Castira. He negates it. He negates the activation and, of course, destroys it. So he pitches his last material. Chilliman Castira goes to the graveyard. His effect doesn't resolve, but I have Birth. Birth brings it back. Now he's going to pitch the top 3 right into Theosis. Theosis into Unicorn. Unicorn effect into another Theosis. Pitch that right into... What did I summon here? Oh, Shangri-Era. Lay the 2 face down because I played a Runnick card to lose my battle phase. Next turn, special summon another Psychic monster. I go for the Scareclaw Castira. He pitches that, tries to draw. I ash that immediately. So that way the Glamour doesn't resolve. Now Birth, he played a spell card and instantly scoops because he activated a spell. 3 cards are about to get banished face down, and thus instantly scoops out of that one. So that takes care of Rika. So fun fact for the Rika, if you're playing against a Rika and they drop the Rika Princess and you have Maxi, play Maxi immediately just to at least get your draw 3 out of it. If they ash it, but then of course you bait out the ash. If they don't ash it, allow you to at least draw 3 cards, because it would be very unlikely that that player will end with that 1 Rika Princess and then pass turn. It's not going to happen. Okay, only a couple games left here. This was a quick one. I think this was a 3-turner game. If my mind serves correctly, this one might be the one I was thinking a little bit earlier. But let's see what happens. Alrighty, so opening hand, some Runnicks, Birth, Prosperity, and Ogre. I go second once again. This is the game I was talking about. So Zodiacs. Plays Barrage. Goes for the Zodiac, plays right into an Italy. Summons Ogre. Into a Synchro Summon. So now he's going to go ahead and summon Clear Wing, Synchro Dragon. An annoying card to have to deal with. But now, of course, since he's playing Zodiacs, he's just going to basically go into a standard Zodiac combo. Playing right into... prepping for either a Zeus or a number 0. Yeah, all Zodiac plays is basically get to Dryad it out, and then Dryad it into Utopic, into Utopia, and then Utopia into Draco. So either that, if this was turn 2, they would have basically stacked this to Dryad it to attack directly to go into a Zeus that would have 6 materials, which would be a huge problem. So he's just gonna go ahead and go through a standard combo line with Zodiac. Consistently XC summoning over and over and over again. And there he goes into the F-Zero Utopic Future. Pitches the Utopic Future right into the number 0 Utopic Draco Future. And 1 card face down. So that's his end board, which is quite a problem because... So first and foremost, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon is once per turn, whenever another level 5 or higher monster activates his effect, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy it. Once per turn, when a monster effect is activated that targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field, you can negate the activation if you do, destroy it. And if this card's effect destroys a monster, then this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster until the end of the turn. So he basically gets 2 negates. If he gets a negate if you use a level 5 or higher monster, and he gets another negate if you target a level 5 or higher monster at that point in time. But Draco Future is the bigger problem because here, it cannot be destroyed by battle or a card effect. And then once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can detach a material, negate the activation, and then steal the monster. So now we have an issue because we really can't use any of our Castira monsters. And I really don't have much in my hand, but fortunately, I do have Flashing Fire, so I can instantly get rid of the Clear Wing, which is exactly what I do. So I go for my draw an Ash Blossom, go right into Pot of Prosperity, pitch my 6. He goes into Anti-Spell Fragrance, which is going to be his floodgate to stop me from using spells. So I immediately chain Flashing Fire to get rid of the Crystal Wing. Otherwise, I'd have to wait till my next turn to play any spell card. Definitely don't want to have that out there on the board. So we're going to go ahead and do that immediately. So get rid of the Crystal Wing. He banishes the top 3. Anti-Spell will activate. And then, of course, my pot will resolve, which will allow me to look at the top 6. Pull a card. So I choose Wraithsaw. Play Ogre. And then Ash Blossom, go right into Barone. Barone was my best play here for 2 reasons. So I go into the Barone because Barone gets a once per turn pop, which will allow me to get rid of the Anti-Spell Fragrance, which I need to get rid of immediately because I have every other Castira spell card in my hand that I would need to get me out of the situation. Also, because I'm activating a monster effect, he's going to go ahead and try to train Draco Future to try to negate the effect and steal my Barone. This is when I use the Barone's second effect, which is a negate. It's a negate and destruction, so whenever they activate an effect, it's only one time as long as it's on the field. So I go ahead and chain that to negate the fact, to negate the negate of this card and to stop the steal. Downside is Draco, since it can't be destroyed by card effect, it won't get destroyed, but its effect will no longer work. So now I go right into Birth. Go ahead and draw the Rhino Heart. And now I go back into my combo line. So now go straight into Ogre, pull Preparations, play Preparations, summon a Rise Heart. And here we go. Xyz into Big Eye. He's already used his effect, so he can't detach another material. Use the Big Eye, snatch the Draco Future. I have to pass my turn since I used a Runnick card, but I'm good there. Now activate Preparations. Preparations will resummon Unicorn back out. And so he goes right back into his combo. So now I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the 3 Zodiacs in his graveyard so he can't re-special summon them. And he's going to try to resume the combo. At this point in time, his only out is Zeus. But I have a plan for Zeus. He tries to Regeki. I use Slumber to ensure that my Unicorn doesn't get destroyed. I don't care about Big Eye or Barone at this point in time. Draco can't be destroyed by card effects, so it'll stay on the board. Not too worried about that. He pitched the Theosis, allows him to get the Rise Heart back. Attacks directly. He has 1 material, and he's going to go right into Zeus. So there's Divine Arsenal, Zeus. His only way out at this point in time is to use Zeus's effect to banish the 2 material to completely wipe the boards completely clean, for the exception of himself. This is where he made the biggest misplay in his life, because I don't know how he forgot this or didn't notice this. I stole his monster. I stole F-Zero Draco Future. So the second he activates Zeus, it's my turn. I activate Draco Future, pitch the material, negate the effect, steal Zeus. You good, my guy? That's GG's. I don't know what he was thinking. He thought he was gonna get out of that situation. Completely forgot that I stole his monster, and I had an instant negate in that situation. Stole Zeus from him. That's GG's. He had no other cards he could play, no normal summons. Next turn, I would have not had my battle phase steal, but if something was destroyed, Zeus would have grabbed it for the attachment. I had something else to get rid of something out of the extra deck, and he pretty much wasted everything summoning Zeus and summoning Draco Future to begin with. GG's, my guy. I don't know what you were thinking when you did that play, but it was a dumb play. Moving on to the last 2 games. Alrighty, second to last game here. I don't even remember what deck this one is for certain. Nothing actually will top the last game I just played in terms of outsmarting and playing this one out. So let's see what this one is. Perfect Castira starting hand, a Harpy's Feather Duster, and then a Reaper Cherries. Naturia. So, and it was turned out to be Naturia Runix. Another dreadful deck. Not really too bad, but Naturia Beast is the bane of this deck's existence, because Naturia Beast allows you to basically negate any spell card played, period, as long as you pitch a card from the top of the deck. And most of the Naturia cards can bring themselves back from the graveyard and consistently shuffle them back over and over again. So this one's going to be the challenge, because I'm going to be playing Runix, of course. Fortunately, he only has 1 Runic Fountain because it is limited, so I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. But he goes to the standard Blessing, into the Cricket into Naturia Beast. So now he has an Omni Negate for all spell cards, so now I can't use spells at all unless I can walk over that Naturia Beast. But now I also have another issue because of the fact that he is playing Runix. I have to be cautious of certain cards. And then he goes into the Stardust Charged Warrior, draws a card, and then plays the Runic Fountain, plays Mudora to shuffle cards back into his grave, so gets Hugin and his Naturia cards, and ends the turn there. So now I have to be aware of any Runic cards in his hand and everything in between. So now I have my own Runic cards, but I need to get rid of that Naturia Beast. Plays that right into the Hugin, the Munin. Gets his draw. He activated the effect, goes into a Runic Tip, which I could really care less about at this point in time, because Runic Tip is our Ogre's effect is already activated. Goes for the Flashing Fire. Draw my Preparations. Play that. Go for the next effect, and then he's going to instantly use that to get rid of Ogre. And he gets rid of my Fountain and my Pot of Prosperity, which is not a good look for me, unfortunately. So now Kind of still stuck in a little bit of a mild bind. Not that big of a deal personally. So now this is when I go ahead and make an expert play. So I summoned Fenrir since he got rid of my ogre. And thus, my only way out of this point in time is I need to get rid of that Naturia Beast. I can walk over it via attack, but I can't attack because it's my second main phase. So I go ahead and activate Fenrir's effect, draw my Rise Heart, and now I play Runnick Tip. So now my Runnick Tip will activate, will allow me to get a Runic spell card from my deck to my hand, knowing that it's going to trigger Naturia Beast, and he's going to stop that because of the fact that I'm also playing Runics as well, because he doesn't want me to keep my Runic cards out. Mistake that I forced him into doing. I sacrificed my tip for a reason. So I play that knowing that he would activate the effect of Naturia Beast, which would then trigger off Fenrir's effect since a monster effect was activated, which allows me to instantly banish face down the Naturia Beast. I could care less about the Runnick Tip. I lose it, that's fine. GG's is gone. Harpy's Feather Duster gets rid of the Runic Fountain. So now I don't have to worry about Fountain going off any longer. Straight into the Rise Heart. Rise Heart pitch Unicorn. Right into my Shangri-Era. I don't get a battle phase next turn because I did use my Runnick Tip, but that's fine because he can't walk over my monster. Play Big Bang as a safety net, because if he gets a little too wild and rambunctious with his cards, I can go ahead and use Big Bang and wipe the board clean with only one monster left. End my turn. He gains 1,000 life points. Move on. Activate the effect of Shangri-Era. Oh, no, I didn't. Why didn't I activate it? Oh, because I didn't activate it because of the Charge Warrior. So now he plays Zeta. Goes for the Blessing. And I go ahead at this point in time and just let him cook because I have two backup plans. Both my traps in the back are going to basically stop this. Go straight into the Shang Ying since cards were banished. One of the best cards, but since he was playing Runics, Big Banged it. Made him get rid of everything. Now he's going to chain the effects to get me to get rid of my last face down card and get rid of my Runnick Tip. All right, now I drew my Flashing Fire. He goes ahead and ashes it. So now I can't summon another Castira monster. I don't believe I still get a battle phase, but that's fine. Don't really care. I just need his effect to resolve, so that way I can stack into my Castira or Rise Heart. So now Macrocosm is actually on the board. Has 3 materials, pitch the 3 materials, banish the Shang Ying, and GG's. So now every card he would have played would have been banished. Nothing more he can do. And I had Runnick Flashing Fire in my hand just in case he got a little bit zesty. All right, last and final game for this video. A 3-turner. I don't remember if I go first or second, but let's go ahead and keep going on this one. This will be the last game of the played out of the series. Before I rotate decks after the fact. I go second. Plays 2 face downs and passes turn. So now I kind of have some options of what I really want to do. So I decided to go all in on Runics. Go ahead and summon Hugin. Pitch a card to go ahead and pitch the Big Bang so that way Hugin can try to get Fountain. He instantly goes for the Infinite Impermanence. Not that big of a deal. I chain Castira, Tillamook Castira. Get rid of the Big Bang to special summon it. Goes for that negate. Have him discard the top 3. He is playing Vanadium Castira. So I go straight for Barone. Barone effect, pop his back row. It's a call by the grave. Don't know why he called by the Tillamook Castira. That made 0 sense why you would do that. There's no rhyme or reason to banish a Castira monster. It really doesn't, but whatever. Play the last 2 cards face down. Skip my battle phase because of the fact I played a Runnick. But I still have Hugin on the board, which is my saving grace. Flashing Fire on that. So now he tries Harpy Feather Duster. I pitch my Hugin to protect my back row. Gets rid of the Harpy's Feather Duster. Goes straight into the Calarium. I'm sorry, the Rackphobia. Destroy the Rackphobia to prevent him from searching. Because he's going to go right in the Vanadium combo. And then scoops. GG's. Next turn, he played a card face down. Next turn, I would just simply popped it. Played another card at that point in time and drew out the game. So that'll do this Master Duel video for you guys. If you liked content like this and like me to mildly go over some of the duels that I've played and some of the combo lines and some of the strategies you should probably go against in terms of playing other decks, give us a like, give us a comment. And if you're new to the channel, give us a subscribe. We're on our road to 750 subscribers, and then our road to 1,000, which we'll probably do our second giveaway. Tell us what you would like to see from the future. Tell us if there's certain decks you would like to see us play with or other decks, because I am playing more than just Castira decks. In Master Duel, I have quite a few of them that I like to play in here. That's just one of my go-to decks in terms of being quite consistent and a little bit of dickish in terms of playing the game and working my way around the meta. My goal for that is to probably hit master level. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not, but we'll see how the whole thing goes. But give us your thoughts, give us your reactions, and tell us what you want to see in the future. King Zeph here. Enjoy the rest of you guys' Tuesday. Till next time, peace. I'm out.